Hello and welcome to Was It Worth Buying? Probably number 7, 8. I've give up now trying to count these. Mr. John Bender is behind myself. And if that is not a giveaway to the one and only Breakfast Club, what is? Now, when me and Brit first started in, well, I mean, after Brittany was like, hey, what you doing? You know, we've been friends for years. And we eventually went out. One of our first dates was to see Halloween, and that was jam-packed. And one of our second dates was to see the Breakfast Club. And unfortunately, there was like 6 people there. And to Brit, it was just down the road. To me, it was nearly an hour's drive to go and see the Breakfast Club on its 30th anniversary. So we made the effort, we went and seen it. And we have the Blu-ray. Dun, dun, dun. And there it is. Now with the Blu-ray, you get Accepting the Facts, feature comedy track. They managed to get Judd Nelson and Anthony Michael Hall. We've seen him in quite a lot of stuff, realising it's the same guy in Beetlejuice is a bit of a mind blown, but also in 16 Candles you could see that he was going to be a force to be reckoned with, but is almost unrecognisable to this day. Judd Nelson's done a lot of stuff from Emilio Estevez. They've all come out of good stuff, but that's a Blu-ray. Now this, Was It Worth Buying? The new Steelbook. Now we've had this since it came out, day 1 release. First off, right at the back, the lockers in the movie are red, like my t-shirt. So that's just being a bit of criticism. It does stand out. It is embossed, which is pretty cool. But for the price tag of about £15, probably a lot more now, from its $7.99 counterpart. Remember, the Breakfast Club has also been released on a VHS version. It is critically been released as a retro with a sleeve, especially a lot of who originally did that? It's one Universal there, Universal's label. And the Breakfast is also known as the poster still sells. The colour you think of when you think of the Breakfast Club is purple bleeding into a bit of white, purpley pink. But there we go. Now other things like Pretty in Pink and Some Kind of Wonderful were released recently, and they used quite newish looking concept artwork for the Steelbook. But with the Breakfast Club they went for the locker. It doesn't have Open This and Die, it does have a sketch of John Bender, King, Crown and an Equation. Bulldog on the back, that looks like just borrowed from Tom and Jerry. Someone hanging. And Sorority Rules, Universal. So yeah, inside, same disc as the other counterpart, and a special extra feature is a couple of magnets of the cast and gang, as well as a few pictures inside one, and behind the disc, baseball glove. I mean, the guy's a wrestler, isn't he? A bag of weed, do you know what I mean? I don't really think it's good cut. Do you ever see anybody in an American, like, locker? I mean, I didn't have lockers in school, but do you ever see anyone go to the bottom locker? Every time, there's like rows and rows of lockers, and there's always a bottom locker, but everyone always got top lockers. You just never see that. Was it worth buying? For me personally, nostalgia because of Brit, yes. And if you haven't got Breakfast Club on Blu-ray, yes. To double dip, that's another thing I need to bring in, because you can double dip, you can triple dip, you can dick dip, you can just go all nuts and fucking just Scrooge McDuck and stuff. I would say not for the Steelbook. I think if the Steelbook was red and it honoured more where it came from and used a little bit of the John Bender graffiti down his locker, yes, a little bit extra. The magnets are a strange thing, because you could essentially take out the magnets, which I'm going to, and since they've never been off there, you can take the original cover. It's a similar cover. It's a similar picture, it's not the same pose. So we can pull the magnet out there just for this video. So now it's an all-seeing eye. We have one of them nice fridges where it's, you know, it has no cover at the front. It looks like the rest of the kitchen. Bang, dun, dun, dun. So you get these out. And again, you've got some magnet around the house. You want to stick them on your car, be gone by the time you get to work. Gone with the wind. You know what I mean? So yeah. As I say, this is a very short, was it worth buying? For me, nostalgia, yes. I'm happy to own that on the collection. But again, as a new buyer, again, when you hit the market, and there's a retro version of that which won't have the 30th anniversary stuff, and then you've also got a VHS version knocking around. That's the version you pretty much just want to get in the entry of. As I say, it's a great film. There's a lot there. I think it teaches a lot. It's great to watch a film like that where you don't have the distraction of mobile phones and stuff like that, and you get the because again, what the film really speaks on is a mix of cultures, a mix of people. If it was done now, there would definitely be an ethnic origin in the group. I think they would try to do that, but everyone's human, doesn't matter what you look like. But I think this is what this film really captures. It's 5 different people all in the same situation, and the friendship and the bond they create just of going, right, once you get the higgly-piggly out the way, right, and they make the most of it. And that's what this film, 30 years later, this is still a pin-up fucking poster. So yeah, is Breakfast Club worth owning? Definitely. Shadow of a doubt. See in the outtakes.
Now who's smiling? Now who's smiling? Now who's smiling? Now who's smiling?
So here's an outtake for you in the background. I've just been reminiscing with Brittany about Breakfast Club. She just said Jaws the Revenge has been announced as a steelbook, and it's like, right, I spoke to Casper about this because I was giving Casper grief. Jaws has just been announced. They've announced it since the second one just sold out. So if you want to try and get on the bandwagon and get all 4, then the second one's be through the roof. To me personally, I have, again, was it worth buying? Could be a one for Jaws down the line. I've got the original Steelbook, and then I've got the new Japanese reissue. But when you want to talk about Jaws sequels, obviously you cannot get a box set of all 4. Steven Spielberg just won't allow it. You can look at all the collections, it says Jaws 2, 3 and Revenge. So you're picking that up, you're like, where's the first one? I don't know what happened. I can't warrant the box set you can buy on Blu-ray of all 3 Jaws, anyway, 2, 3 and the Revenge. Like, it normally warrants about £13 to £15. It has been as cheap as $5.99, and I've picked that up and I wouldn't change that for all. The second one is really good. I think the second one is a very underrated film. It's weird that because I thought Arrow might have picked that up, and you know Arrow's got a really good because Breakfast Club might end up on Arrow eventually, you know, but Arrow might pick the second one up and give its justification because the much effort they put into Jaws 1, you know what I mean, and then you got 3 and 4, you know what I mean, but. Was it worth buying the box set for that price? Yeah, it was. Even though you watch the third, I think the 4th one is better than the 3rd because the 3rd one's just like really. So yeah, it was a great outtake inspired by Brick going, oh, guess what? Jaws the Revenge is on Steelbook. No, thank you. See you next time. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.